Hi, this is Alexander. Welcome to a new class of imbalance. Today we're going to pay more attention to the hamstrings, the muscles at the back of our legs. Usually these muscles tend to be a little bit stiff, a little bit tight, and maybe a bit short as well, which can create a bit of discomfort, or maybe a lot in your lower back, in your knees, or simply in your legs in general. We're going to spend this class working on flexibility. Very important that you don't push too hard. You really take your time to connect with your body, to feel everything that happens once you're in each pose. We're going to alternate a bit dynamic movement and longer holds. So we're just going to make this a nice, gentle yoga class to really work on your hamstrings. When you're ready, you come on your mat. We're going to start in downward facing dog. So we are starting in downward facing dog. What we're going to do is start to warm up a little bit into the back of our legs. So when you are in this pose, you're going to walk the dog, meaning that one by one, you're going to extend one leg while you bend the other one. You take a moment here and see already how tight you might be feeling in the back of your legs. This is a great way to wake up a little bit into the fibers of the hamstrings, also in your calves and in your ankles. Make sure you are pushing your hands into the mat, bringing your hips a little further back. And when you are switching legs, you really push your heel to the mat to really get this full stretch on the whole back of your leg. Maybe moving your hips a little bit into the movement to really get everything working here in your whole leg. And from here, with an inhale, you extend both legs and push your hips back. Now inhale, bring your right leg up. As you exhale, you place your right foot on the mat between your hands. You bring your left knee on the mat and your left foot flat on the mat as well. Now you're going to inhale, lift your chest, and if you notice that your hands are not on the mat anymore, I would advise you to grab a set of blocks or anything that you have at home that you can use for support to really stay relaxed into your shoulders. Now you inhale, lift your chest more. And exhale, push your hips back, extending into your right leg and really feeling the stretch here in the back. Now on an inhale, you come forward and exhale, push your hips back, extending your leg and flexing into your right foot. Inhale, forward, open at the front, and exhale, push your hips back. Inhale, forward. And out, gently come back. This is the fourth time. Feel the warmth building up at the back of your leg. Inhale, lift and open. And exhale, push your hips back. Now we're going to hold this here. What you want to do to start is make sure that your left hip is just above your left knee. So you're going to bring your right heel a little bit more to the front. Make sure to flex your feet, your right foot. So also be very careful, you don't want to lock your right knee, you don't want to hang in there. So you're going to keep your right knee micro bent to really stay safe. Then with your hands on your blocks or books, whatever you are using now, we're really going to make this pose really active here. So you're going to actively push your right heel into the mat. And what you're going to do is bring your right hip to the back. So you are grounding your heel. It's like you are trying to drag your heel back, but your heel is not going to be moving. And when you do that, you probably feel it already. There's a big stretch happening here in the back of your leg. So you take a moment here. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed, your neck as well. And again, don't forget what I said in the beginning of the class. You don't want to take it too far. You want to stay at about 80% of what you could do. So you could be 100% pulling like crazy here, but you want to stop right before that. You still want to be able to breathe properly. This is the very important part here. Your breathing is still calm and smooth. Okay, with an inhale, you push your hips forward, and as you exhale, you push your hips back. We're into down dog again. Now you inhale and bring your left leg up. Exhale, place your left foot on the mat between your hands. So maybe you grab your blocks again or anything you need for support. Inhale, lift your chest, open up the front. And exhale, push your hips back, already warming up into the back of your left leg. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, push your hips back, really going for length in the back of your leg. Inhale, come to the front, open. And exhale, push your hips back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, move back for number 4 here. Last one, inhale, forward. And exhale, bring your hips back. So again, you're going to look to have your right hip just above your right knee, meaning that you are going to bring your left foot a bit more to the front. You bring your blocks back maybe a little bit to really stay steady and stable here. Make sure you keep your left knee micro bent so it's not completely here. Or maybe you really need to go as far because you have very, very tight hamstrings. That's okay too. As long as you feel some stretch, a bit of pull here, you are doing the pose already. But what is important is to not lock your knee, create tension and pressure here. Flex your left foot, meaning your toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling. You actually bring them towards your shin. Then you lift your chest, pull your shoulders back, and bring your left hip back. So what you do is kind of twisting your hips here. You bring the right hip forward and the left hip back. Because of the traction on your mat, you engage the whole back of your left leg, really pulling and lengthening your muscles. And again, this pulling is pretty soft actually. You don't want to go too far. If you push too hard, you're going to hurt yourself. So take it easy. And as you inhale, bring your hips forward. Exhale, push your hips back. We're coming back to downward facing dog. Maybe you want to take a moment to loosen up into your leg a little bit. So you're going to walk your dog again. This is really one of the great movements to stretch the back of your legs. This is something you can really do every day, really. Now, as you inhale, extend both legs. Exhale, push your heels towards the mat. Even if your heels do not touch the mat, it's okay, but you keep pushing them down to create opposition here. Then we're moving to single leg down dog. As you inhale, you bring your right leg up. And we're just going to hold it here for a moment. What you want to avoid is that your right hip is opening to the side. You want to keep your hips square. So you bring your right hip down. You push your right heel towards the back of your mat. If you have to, you can keep your left knee slightly bent, but you want to keep this activation. So you bring your right heel as high as you can, or you bring your left heel closer to the mat. Take a last deep breath in. And exhale, place your right foot on the mat. Inhale, bring your left leg up. Really go for length here. Squaring your hips. Make sure you're applying even pressure on both hands. So you don't want to be more on the one hand than the other one. You want to stay straight back here, just like a normal down dog, except you have one leg up. What you do is still flex your left foot and push your heel back while you bring your right heel as close as you can to the mat. So now you really feel this big pull here in the back of your right leg. Last deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring your feet on the mat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knees and come on your mat. Then you come and sit down on your mat. Extend your legs to the front. Make sure you're sitting properly on your sit bones. For some of us, it's so tight here in the back that we already have trouble having the legs straight. No problem at all. For now, you're just going to keep your knees bent. But you keep flexing your feet to really feel a bit of a pull here. Another important thing here is that you do not want to have a round back. You don't want to slouch back. So if you feel that you are sitting more on your sit bones, you're going to elongate, lifting your chest, tilt your pelvis in order to have your sit bones on the mat. If this is too hard for you, that it doesn't really work, you could have a blanket or a cushion, something soft to sit on. So when you're elevating your hips, it's easier to get this forward fold here. If the blanket or cushion is not working for you, you grab a cloth or something just a little higher to get this elevation, rotating here and really sitting on your sitting bones. From here, we're going to work towards our forward fold, the Paschimottanasana. So all the time you keep your feet flexed. So remember, knees bent is always allowed, legs straight, also good. And now as you inhale, you're going to lift. And as you exhale, you gently reach towards your feet. Then inhale, come back. And exhale, reach forward, really feeling the pull in the back of your legs. Inhale, back. And exhale, forward, reach as far as you can. Inhale, come back. And out, forward. See how far you can go here. Inhale up. And out, forward as far as you can. Now inhale, come back. And exhale, maybe you want to loosen up your legs a little bit, shake. Make sure that if you build that tension, that is gently going away now. So now we're going to hold our forward fold. Very important, again, you don't want to hang in your back. Very often, if the hamstrings are really tight, what you see is hanging here. You do not want that. This is putting a lot of strain in your back, and you can hurt yourself, maybe even injure yourself. So always starting with a straight back, and try to keep the straight back the whole time. So maybe sitting on something. So if you are not that flexible yet, you can keep your knees slightly bent, and you're going to gently reach forward and grab your feet. Maybe you're just going to stay here. Remember, spine straight. If you feel that you have the space for it, you can start to bring your feet a few centimeters forward. Maybe all the way extended, still lifting and opening at the front. And you take a moment here just breathing. You should be feeling the pull in the back of your legs because you are flexing your feet. Your toes are pointing up and actually you are pulling your toes towards your shin and to really go over the whole length of your legs. And if you feel that you are getting warm, maybe you can start to gently bring your belly towards your thighs, see how that goes. Make sure to stay aware of the sensations in your back here. You don't want to feel pain. Maybe you start to come a little lower and just go progressively. If you feel that this is already going good, then you can start to release, of course, and then you bring your head to your knees, maybe even to your shins. You can also reach further forward with your hands. You know, not everybody can go there, but for everybody, if you are already a bit flexible, it's always good to challenge yourself, to keep your flexibility, of course. And if you're not that flexible, just stay in one of the options that will really feel good for you, where we're going to build into this stretch and this flexibility. So we take another minute here. Forward folds are nice to stay longer in, because they don't require as much effort as, let's say, back bend or arm balancing things. You just can hang a little bit, loosen up into your muscles. And you take this time to really focus on your breath. Every time you inhale, you create a bit more space within yourself. And every time you exhale, you gently release a little bit more, seeing how far you can go. You know, when you have this flexibility, it's okay if your back is rounding a little bit, because now you just are not pulling so much, you're just easing more into the pose. It takes a little bit of time to get there, but once you're there, it can be a really, really relaxing pose to be a really resting moment. Okay, as you inhale, you start to slowly roll back, starting from your tailbone, really reaching to the ceiling with the top of your head. And as you exhale, you're going to cross your ankles and you come back to your down dog. So again, you maybe want to loosen up a little bit. Just gentle, slow movement to create this length and softness in the back of your legs. With an inhale, extend both legs, push your hips back. Exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Inhale, walk to the front. And exhale, release forward. So now we are actually again into this forward fold, but now instead of sitting on your mat, you are standing up, which probably gives a little bit more pull into the back of your legs. You're going to make sure you're not having your knees completely locked, but you keep that micro bend. Also, the trick here to really gain this flexibility is to shift your weight a little bit more on the front of your feet. So your heels are still on the mat, but you do feel that there is more weight on the front of your feet than on your heels. And then you can just grab your elbows and you let your head hang. Take a moment, just relax, let go, enjoy this moment for yourself. Obviously, if this is not feeling comfortable for you, you just say, well, it's good, you know, you can just have your hands under your knees and maybe you are feeling that you are working more efficiently being here than being all the way down. Modify according to your body. Just listen to your body, it will tell you what is right and what is too far for you. Okay, now as you inhale, gently come halfway in. So you keep your hands under your knees. You take a second here, making sure you don't get too dizzy on the way back up. Just a couple of breaths, observing how it feels in the back of your legs. And if it feels okay for you, as you inhale, you slowly start to roll up again. Now you come stand at the front of your mat, and we're going to work a little deeper into the hamstrings still. So now, as you inhale, you're going to first bring your left leg towards the back. So you're going to have about half a leg distance between your feet, something like that. And then you make sure to square your hips, meaning that your hips are parallel to the front of your mat here. So you don't want to open to the side, you want to stay square, facing the front of your mat. You're going to place your hands on your hips, and as you inhale, lift your chest. So again, you want to get some extension in your spine. And as you exhale, you're going to gently hinge from your hips and move a little forward. And maybe for most of us, this is going to be more than enough. You're really going to feel the pull in the back of your right leg. If you feel that you have more flexibility, maybe you come like parallel to your mat. This should really give a juicy stretch in the back of your hamstrings. If you are already a bit more flexible, maybe you bring your hands on the mat. But make sure you keep this pulling action so your right hip is bringing to the back when you keep grounding your foot on the mat. So it's like what we did in the half split in the beginning. Just keep breathing here. Keep your spine straight, your chest lifted, shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you have a couple of blocks. You can always support yourself on your blocks. Also, these are a great tool to have at home for your own practice. Okay, as you inhale, slowly start to come up. And And as you exhale, step to the front again. Now, as you inhale, you bring your right leg back. Half a leg between your feet. Twisting your hips to the front, so squaring the hips. If this is not easy for you to do, you can always move your right foot a bit more to the right, so it gives you more space to square into the hips. Starting with your hands on your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, maybe just a little bit forward, maybe halfway down, maybe with your hands on the mat. See for yourself how it goes. So again, you don't want to head completely into your pose here. You want to keep this spine extension as well. Keep breathing, using your blocks if you need to. Just go as far as feels okay for you. And that's the thing, you know, flexibility does not have to feel too comfortable, but you don't want to feel pain. You find this balance for yourself. You can still breathe properly, really experience a deep stretch happening. And as you inhale, slowly start to come back up. Exhale, you step carefully to the front of your mat. Now we're moving forward. As you inhale, you now bring one foot to the back of the mat. It doesn't matter which one, you're just facing sideways. You have now a leg distance between your feet, and you turn your big toes towards each other, keeping the sides of your feet parallel to the front and the back of your mat. Again, you're going to start with your hands on your hips, and as you inhale, you lift your chest. Exhale, without rounding your spine, so hinging from the hips, you're going to gently come forward. See for yourself how far you go. Maybe you stop here, halfway down. Maybe you have your hands on the mat. Maybe you can come a little deeper, that's okay. Again, blocks are a great tool to have to support yourself into this forward fold. So let me show you sideways. What you want to do with your spine is like what we do throughout the whole class. Keep it straight. So maybe you're just on the tip of your fingers, or maybe you're a bit more flexible and you can get a little deeper. Now you should feel the stretch happening a lot in the back of your legs and also a little bit more into the inner thighs. That's good. We want to create a bit of a synergy here in all the muscles that we are stretching. Keep breathing. Again, look for this place within yourself where you can still find some peace and quiet, observing a gentle, smooth breath, while you are also working deeper into the fibers of your tight muscles here into the hamstrings. And as you inhale, you gently start to roll up again. Exhale, bring your feet closer to each other and come at the front of your mat again. Now from here, inhale, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Maybe it feels a little easier to be forward now. Inhale, come halfway up, and exhale, come into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up. And exhale, place your right foot between your hands. You bring your left knee on the mat. And if you have blocks or you were using support before, you're going to grab them again and place your hands on it. Inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, bring your hips back. So we already went there into the half split. Now we're going to see how it goes, working towards the full split. So see for yourself. Maybe this is the best that you have for today. Again, don't let your ego tell you what you have to do. Listen to your body. If you feel that this is the max, that you really get the max stretch, stay here. Maybe even bend your knee a little bit more. If you feel that your hamstrings are nice and warm, now we spend quite some time working on them, you're going to bring your left foot a little bit further back. So maybe you're hanging here and it feels good for you. Maybe you can see for yourself if you can get a little closer to your mat. So most of us, the hip is not coming to the mat. Sometimes I have it, but most of the time it's not working. My advice to you now is to grab a block. Again, anything you have at home. You can have a block, a cushion, anything, a book to place under your right hip. So you're not hanging too much, but you get a nice support for yourself. You try to keep your spine straight and relax a little bit when you are stretching into your hamstrings. See for yourself how it goes. Make sure you're not moving too deep, not moving too fast. And you just breathe here. Keep some activation into your right leg. And if you are really, really flexible, I'm not going to be able to demonstrate that, but you can always place a block under your right foot here to get into the oversplit. See for yourself how it goes, how much more you can loosen up here. And as you inhale, you gently come up again, rebend into your right knee, and come back into your down dog. Settling down on your mat. Inhale, bring your left leg up. Exhale, place your left foot between your hands, your right knee on your mat. Now you're going to extend your left leg. Grab your blocks, wherever you need to. Maybe staying here, maybe don't need to go so deep, you know. You don't need to be able to do the splits to work on them. It's something very progressive. Take some time, just breathe, release the tension consciously. Maybe you bring your right knee further back, your right foot as well. Then maybe you let your hips sink a little deeper. Maybe you need some support here with like a block or anything under your left hip. Making sure you don't hang. When you hang, you create actually more tension. So see for yourself. Maybe it goes very different on this side. If this is your tighter side, you're going to stay a little higher. If this is your more flexible side, it can be that you are now all the way to the mat, or that you can place a block under your left foot there. But make sure you are still breathing properly. You know, whatever you do, it's your breath. The moment that you are breathing calmly, peacefully, that you are aware of your breath, you're really getting all the benefits of the pose. At the moment that your breathing becomes very fast, very shallow, then you're actually bringing some stress to your body. And it's not going to be busy with getting benefits of the pose, it's going to just try to survive the moment. So make sure you can relax into this deep stretch here. Alright, inhale, rebend into your left knee, and exhale, move back to down dog. Maybe replacing your mat if it's a bit folded now, and you're just going to take a moment here. Alright, bring your knees onto your mat, and then you're going to take a moment into child's pose. A moment to relax, to recover, giving your body the time to process everything that we did during the class together. Take a moment here, just as long as you need. Relax, breathe, and let the effects of this class work onto your body. Thank you very much for following this class together. I hope you feel good now in the back of your legs into the hamstrings. One thing about flexibility, the key here, the secret ingredient, is regularity. So really do that on a regular basis. Every 2 or 3 days, just make sure you keep up working on your flexibility. If you really start slowly taking care of your body, taking care of your breath, you're really going to see tremendous benefits in a short time. But make sure you don't force anything and be patient. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this class, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I am publishing lessons regularly. So thank you again, have a great day, and namaste.